All our gods are dead. The Libertarian representative Thomas Massie gives a huge shout out to Vani Hari, aka the Food Babe. Late last week, the representative reposted a tweet of Vani Hari testifying before Congress about ingredients in U.S. food that are considered to be toxic in Europe. And so I have a personal knowledge of this. For about the last 5 years, Ag's been able to shift their focus away from tell your story, these are the reasons you need to have GMOs, these are the reasons we use pesticides, because the activists went away. The GMO fight calmed down for a while. A lot of the attention went to the glyphosate lawsuits. Well, now activists are coming back up. And once RFK joined forces with Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson started having some of these people on that are saying the reason the obesity crisis is happening, the reason that we're having such poor health outcomes is because of the things that are being sprayed on your crops. And, we should consider all things. There's no such thing as settled science, right? If somebody knows something we don't know, then we want to know that. But I can say that a lot of the tactics that Vani Hari is using is taking words that sound really scary, putting them up on a giant board and saying, this is in your kids' Skittles, instead of worrying about all of the processed sugar, just the huge amount of sugar that you're getting for it. So I think that ag is going to be in a position where their former political home, which was the right and the libertarians, saying, hey, give ag the ability to do their work with the technologies they need. I think that's going to go away, and ag is going to be in a very, very difficult fight for technologies. Christina, are you seeing this flippening where ag is not going to have the same political home it had in the past?
Well, I am seeing these discussions about what is healthy food and what is nourishing to our bodies. And I think that's where the conversation actually starts, is to think about what you are fueling your body with and how you are feeding your families. We all have choices. And you mentioned sugar, and it's in everything, and it is addicting. And when I think about my personal sugar intake, it is high. And so I am making choices. But everyone should be reading the ingredients on their food and understanding how to nourish and fuel their bodies.
Yeah, I think that this is the big story in ag. If I am in a Farm Bureau group anywhere in the United States, I am paying attention to this issue because when I was in the kind of pushback about the reason that you want to have GMOs or the value of them, that was one thing. GMOs they're very complicated science, but they're easy to discuss. When you start talking about chemistry that you're using to do crop protection, this is much, much more complicated. It is very specific. Toxicology is very difficult. Parts per million, parts per billion. This is very difficult. So if I were a group charged with making sure to preserve technology, I would be watching what's going on, and I would be trying to get into this conversation, not sitting back thinking it's going to go away like the GMO fight did. Any last words on that?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is actually the shelf life of food and our access to food, and what how do you balance all those things that we rely on for our fast-paced society.
Yeah, I mean, as a father, I know I get bread from the grocery store, and we had buns that we got, and I realized the bread that I got that was made just that day, it molded after about 4 days, and the buns that I had, they were no mold after 3 weeks, and I threw them out because I was like, something's
Isn't
not
that
right
weird?
about us.
Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? Yeah, exactly. So I think that's just one thing to pay attention to. You can use your observation skills and make choices for your family.